Greetings. This is my new YouTube segment, #unfiltered. I've always wanted to share a lot about my past. I've wanted to share stories because I've learned a lot through the mistakes that I've made in life and the risks that I've taken, mainly from the stripping side of life, the taking heaps of drugs side of life. I did actually learn a lot about myself during that time, and I've never felt like it was right to share it up until now. So this is a whole segment where I can really just tell those raw stories as is, or share those whatever insights as is, and just things about what's going on in my life now or back then that I know other people go through these kind of thoughts and these challenges, and so I hope by sharing them you get some sort of value out of them. So peace, much love. On to the first episode. My whole life I've been labelled as addictive. The addictive personality, ADHD, high energy, go, all of that kind of stuff. And for someone like me, I have struggled a lot to fit in, to like really find, I guess, a group of people that kind of want to go at the pace I want to go at. And, throughout my years, I have gone from a diesel mechanic to a male stripper to a gym owner to a coach to a dude trying to build an online brand. Not now, back a couple of years ago. I've been racing ultra marathons and half marathons, no marathons yet, doing a lot of endurance adventures. I really frame up to be that A-type personality, the doing, the going. And that life has led me to end up with a lot of mental struggles. They really started to come into play when I was like really young and had a few issues around being seen and validated. I was like too high energy for most of the kids. I was really creative and a lot of my ideas weren't really understood. In my high school years, I also had a similar thing where I had lots of social friends. The social circle was massive, but the deep relationships and the really strong friendships were more few and far between. And so being this like misunderstood, high energy, go, super charismatic, super healthy, super sporty, and quite intelligent young kid, I made the decision to break some rules and start smoking weed. I was 15 at the time. I snuck into the kitchen at nighttime, got a bag of parsley and taught myself how to roll joints. And I smoked it and I liked it. It actually was it served me in many ways. And also, people say weed is like a gateway drug. And for me, it actually was a gateway drug, but not in the sense that it was weed that was the thing that got me to the stepping stone, to be that stepping stone. It was more so that weed comes in the same bucket of all drugs. Usually the same people that are willing to smoke weed are also willing to taking other drugs. And so I did it more as not in a lose myself space, but more from a let's give everything a shot. And I had a lot of fun during that time. However, the point that I was wanting to make is that weed not only was ticking the box of me breaking rules as like effectively a misfit, someone who was just like young and hurting on the inside and lacking strong relationships, it was a good place for me to put a lot of my energy and my anxiety towards. It gave me access to this like new social circle of cool kids. Go to a party and there's always someone who's down to smoke a joint, and at the time we were smoking cigarettes, and so I started to form this relationship with weed that it was like a ticket. It was a ticket to the cool kids that really gave me a lot of security in my identity. It allowed me to feel busy, and also it felt great. It felt great getting high. I was always this sporty, super athletic kid, but I was also forming a really strong relationship, a social relationship with weed. And then I started playing sport high, and that also changed the game for me. I really felt like how someone would describe a classic ADHD personality, where I really felt like my thoughts were just constantly spinning around me. And once I started smoking weed, it slowed me down to a point that I could comprehend myself, and that brought a great deal of self-awareness. And so here I am, this like late teen who is thinking differently and then entering the sports field, where I actually started to get noticed more by I was playing under 18s, then the next level up is the reserves and the first team. And so the top two teams are always they're always keeping an eye on the young fellas to see where the talent's coming through. And it was actually the sessions that I was high that I started getting more attention from the coaches, because I actually was bringing a level of composure to the field, to my game, and I could really understand where I was, where the opposition were, and where I needed to be, where the ball needed to go. And initially when I was playing soccer, that was too much. My brain couldn't comprehend. I'd just get the ball and be like, where's the goal? And go straight for the goal. So for the last, 10 to 15 years, weed has become this thing that has like really given me has been the medication to a lot of my thoughts to bring a good level of self-awareness. It's been there for me when every drug that I tried, and trust me, I tried a fair few. A lot of these drugs I had really bad experiences on them, and maybe I'll share more stories about them later on in other videos, but the point was every drug I had a bad experience on except weed. And so to this day, I still cycle around smoking weed, going through phases where I'm like fully sober and fully focused on work, but I'm also go through phases where I'm not. I'm less focused and I'm more chilled, I'm more relaxed, and I still kind of see myself as being the best version of myself when I'm like fully sober, or maybe like 95% sober. The Josh that just smokes a couple of times a year. I don't really see too much harm in that, but I do believe that a gentle battle with addiction with this specifically has been a very, very long journey that I've gone on and off and on and off and on and off with these things. I've been able to run a 100K ultra marathon.
They don't know me, son. They don't know me.
Graydon's just massaging his balls there as well.
Mustered up the confidence to quit my job as a diesel mechanic and start my own gym, and I've had the confidence to like dance naked in front of hundreds of women, but the skill and the confidence to just like commit to being sober has been a completely different challenge. And as I uncover more and more and more of that, I realize that it's actually something that served me in so many ways. And psychologically, why would I deep down want to get rid of something that I am seeing is serving me? It's been a comforter. It's given me being able to relax through all the stress of running a business, through COVID and running a business through a phase where you don't even know who you are as a young 23-year-old, and all of these really stressful times, as well as those initial phases of forming that bond with it, where it really served me in many ways. It became a medication and also a social invitation into so many spaces. Like, I realized why so many people get addicted to maybe food, or they might get addicted to social media, or whatever the thing is that they get addicted to. It's because they form this relationship where this specific thing has continued to serve them in so many positive ways, at least from their own perspective, is those positive ways. And I really understand how hard it can be to detach from the thing that the person is addicted to, the cigarettes, the alcohol, the weed, the whatever. It feels like it's every reason or every attachment's like plucking a feather out one by one, and it feels like it's never ending. But what I can say, at least for me, is that I've never given up, and I have made continual progress, as I am making continual progress. And even by the time this video uploads, I would have still made even more continual progress, no matter how small. And I really feel as if the same struggles that I feel like I'm going through, many of the people that I aspire to be like, they also go through, and I never have really had the chance to hear more of what they're going through. I really hope that at least me sharing this is where someone else gets some of that similar value out. And I think for me, I can really be grateful for the fact that continual progress has, no matter how big or small at any time, I've been able to soldier on with life as that's been happening, as I've been circling through this, and as I've been going back and forth. There's been times where even the lowest lows of this journey have been almost not even impactful at all on my life, because I still have the capacity to move other things forward. And so overall, health, well-being, relationships, friendships, business, everything's like moving forward. And although I do have these challenges, we're getting through, and I hope sharing this story helps. So thanks very much for listening. Man, it's a good amount of minutes, 12, 13 minutes. I like that. That's a good video. So I think I will end up sharing more about this, because I feel like I've only just kind of started to open Pandora's box a little bit with this topic, but it's nice to talk about. And I think this will bring value to at least a couple of people. So thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video.